Bipasha? हाँ हाँ बिपाशा तेज कॉफी दो ही लोग हैं ना Patience to audience.
Let him put up that the presentation. Let okay.
Hello. Now we have a session by Professor Ajay Kumar Day on the next level of case session. I'd like to call Miss Shilpi Saxena for moderating this session.
Good evening, everyone. I welcome you all in this conference next session, which is on the next level of case methods. So it would be definitely a thought-provoking session. And let me just introduce Professor Dey. So Professor Dey is currently a chairperson, Center of Management Case Development at Birla Institute of Management Technology, Noida. He is responsible for creating an environment to facilitate case research, writing, and teaching. He is also editor of the South Asian Journal of Business and Management Cases, and he is also on the editorial board members of Emerald Emerging Market Case Studies and Journal of Entrepreneurship in Emerging Economies. Currently, he is working as a professor of decision science and operation management at BIMTech Noida. Apart from his engagement in teaching and research, he is also known for publishing in a reputed research journal. Some of them is highly globally known journals. So with the possibility of time, I would just hand over the mic to Professor Day, and definitely it is something which is an interesting session, and we would going to learn a lot about the case study method. Sir, over to you.
Hello, am I audible? This evening, I am very happy. And the happiness stems from the fact that normally I am very, very happy if I find more than 5 people in audience for a case method workshop. And here it is almost 10 times of that, so I'm really happy. I will briefly share what is the purpose of this and then delve into it. I have already shared with Shilpi two slide sets. Both are for you. You can use it, you can refer it, you can edit it, and everything is contained there. So just to continue with the last session, I just wanted to share that what happened when we changed over to the qualitative case study research. And how did we ensure that every case contributes something towards either theory extension or theory building. That trick we have learned, which we wanted to share with you. Now, when we shifted to qualitative case study research completely, obviously our downloads increased, indicating that we are really creating value for the audience, for the faculty group. And download increased multiple fold, 3.5 times on other. So this year we will be crossing about 1 lakh download, which is a very, very happy situation for us, because we are seeing the strategy that we thought of implementing bearing fruits. So that is the satisfaction I derive. Now, I'm not a very good case writer. I do teach with cases, but there may be many flaws with some other we'll point out. I'm not a writer, I'm just a case enthusiast. That is my identity. And I'm driven by one vision, rather 2 visions now. One, empowering management faculty with case method. I repeat, one of my visions is empowering management faculty with case method. What does it mean? It means that there are 2 types of cases. One, teaching case. The other one is qualitative case study research. Teaching case is an event-based case. Teaching case has dilemma. Teaching case has alternatives to solve that dilemma. And teaching case helps in, can anybody say that what is the purpose of using a case in a class? Anyone? No. That is one. But is that the prime focus? Is that the prime intention?
The content of the particular subject, whatever you do.
Sir, are you sure that this is, for that, book is there?
No. Whenever I'm saying four-stage methodology, this is also one of the attributes which is not.
Yes, this is also one of the, but. Huh?
Experiential learning.
Experientially said that bringing this thing. Ah, that is the primary thing. And problem solving and?
Creative thinking needed in the population.
The basic focus is on developing student skills. That is the prime focus. Of course, you have to connect it to theory. Of course, it will help you in bringing a chunk of real life into classroom. All those are there. I'm not denying. But why teaching case? Because there has to be a dilemma. Why dilemma? Because dilemma will entail multiple alternatives to solve that dilemma. And the teacher who is conducting a case method class must change her pedagogy. It is not only lecture, it is a case method class, which means that teacher must allow time for small group discussions, reflection on what is good and what is not. Let students assemble in smaller groups, let them debate. That is how the process of decision-making skills, problem-solving skills, problem identification skills, creativity, all these things will emerge. So many people we do not understand. We treat case method class as if we are lecturing. We are not ready to, as a teacher, as a faculty, we are not ready to share the control of the class with students. We are not ready to flip the classroom in terms of sharing control with students. That is one. It must be very clearly understood. My problem is, because I'm convinced that many of us do not understand what is the purpose of taking a case in a class.
Just wanted to add here. What I do generally is let student understand the difference between symptoms and the problems. So because problems identified correctly means 50% problem is solved. So that is the primary purpose, to let the student understand difference between symptoms, problems, and then develop alternatives, understand the context, and be in the shoes of the decision maker.
Let me interrupt you just 1 second.
Yes, please.
See, we are not here to blame the students. Students are students. I take this stand. It is we as a faculty, we have to change our modality. We have to change our pedagogy. We have to change our view, perspective, to put in their shoes and see what they can derive, the maximum benefit that they can derive. Obviously, they will not be able to identify problem because they are still learning. But as a teacher, we must help them that. So my focus on that. I completely agree with you. What you are saying is right. But as a case faculty, we have to understand where we are going wrong. So one aspect is this. The second aspect is that how do we empower by making people understand, making faculty understand how to deal with case method, teaching case, we can empower them. What will happen? The engagement in their class will improve. The learning outcome, the assurance of learning, at least the skill portion, will be clearly delivered. It can be measured also. So that is what is part of empowering with teaching cases. Now, part of empowering with research cases is that teaching case is not a research output. No university in the world gives as much credit of a case writing as a research article publication. Of course, writing a teaching note for a case is equally challenging, if not more, than writing a research article. No doubt about it. And if you are all familiar with IV cases and Harvard cases, they are so rich in data that you can barely distinguish between where the teaching case stops and where the research case starts. There are many, many such examples. So the faculty, they must understand how to design a qualitative research using case method I repeat, case method means investigating a phenomena within a bounded context. You can even choose one person or one organization to take a deep dive to bring out better understanding, a different meaning of any phenomena. So this must be there. Then only the faculty can get it published in any qualitative research journal and earn the credit of a research article. The question is, how do we do it? It took us some time to understand, at least it took me some time to understand, because I'm not a good researcher. So my disclaimer is already there. What we realized, that it is the game of a context. It is the game of a context. You have to, if you want to write a qualitative research with case method approach, you have to find through your literature review, literature survey, such a phenomena and a context combination where the existing theory which is explaining the phenomena fails to explain. Let me give an example. Employee engagement is much debated, much researched phenomena. Or sorry, let me see, women empowerment is a better this thing. I can relate it easily. Women empowerment, today if anybody writes another research paper on women empowerment, most likely it will not get published. Why? Because there is no novelty in that. People know, a wide community of researchers, they know how to empower a working woman, how to empower an urban woman, how to empower a girl, how to empower a mother, all forms of womanhood. How they can be empowered, that is known. So what else will you add? At the same time, if you do research, if you do good literature review, the moment you shift from urban to rural, the knowledge becomes sparse. Very few people know, very few articles are there which talks of how to empower a rural woman. Still fewer articles are there which talks of how to empower a rural mother. Rural mother. And if you select this kind of context and phenomena combination, the existing theory of empowerment will not help you in explaining the phenomena in that context. It will fail. And in this kind of situation, if you have selected your respondent very clearly, in a very well-designed sampling from the target context and capture their direct responses, not secondary article, not secondary information. Secondary information can give you a support, because any qualitative research must have multiple sources of data. So secondary research, secondary articles can give you support, but you have to capture the primary data through in-depth interviews or such method. So once you collect, then you have the data which is coming from that context, which is, say, we stick to rural mother. You analyze that thematically, and you will come to know some new themes which may be used to motivate or to empower rural mother. You know, this study has been done. We have published it in our journal last year. What came out? For a rural mother, empowerment affects child education and child health. This is not true for urban women. Okay. So this is what I am saying, that if we can, as a researcher, if we can design our research, select such a context which is less probed, for which the evidences are rare, and match it with the phenomena, see what kind of theories are existing, I'm 100% sure that you will get a confluence of theory, phenomena, and context, where it will be possible either to extend existing theory or build up a new theory. For example, we published a paper in some other journal. We know what is a benevolent leadership. Benevolent leadership, everything is known. We also know what is social entrepreneurship. This construct is also well probed. But do we know that if a benevolent leader is put in charge of a social entrepreneur your setup, what will be his leadership style? Benevolent leader in charge of social entrepreneurship outfit. How will he do? That was probed again through the same thing. We found there is an SOS Organics, you can search on the net, SOS Organics, and they are doing commendable work. And that person, that leader, those two, husband, wife, they claim themselves to be benevolent leader. There are evidences of their past leadership style to be benevolent. And now they are running a social entrepreneurship up in the hills of Kumayu. And we wanted to find out what is their current leadership style. Am I clear? Any questions so far? I just said that do a good literature review. The problem with publication is that we try to find a shortcut in terms of identifying a gap. We try to find a shortcut for literature review. If your literature review is thorough, and if you have really caused a debate, shown a debate, a tension between two groups or multiple groups of researchers, and say that this is what is nebulous, this is what is confusing, this is where the tension lies, and you develop a good research design to solve that, to bridge that, nobody can deny your publication, provided you have matched the scope of the journal. Any question? So this is one part of my lecture, which we will get into details a little more. The other part is that case method actually emerged. Case method has survived, you know how many years? Can you guess? Students, how many years people have been using case method for? Huh? How many years? 100. 2021 was the centenary year of case method when 1921 Harvard shifted complete delivery. The entire pedagogy was shifted to case method. And since then, it has survived 100 years, century. It faced competition from simulation. It faced competition from many other methods of pedagogy, where the similar kind of environment, similar kind of context can be created to influence student learning. But still, case method has survived. So, and case method evolved from the practice world. Okay. Certainly some organizations, people, employees started not working from, I think, 45 minutes before the closure. And that is where the same thing came up. I will be sharing this case. It is a one-page case, just one page. And see the kind of dilemma, see the kind of power that case has. So it has started from workplace, but after 100 years, case method has lost connect with workplace. What I mean to say that ideally, there are many processes that are going on in workplaces. In my opinion, the case method has survived 100 years. So most of the decision-making processes in the workplace should have used case method. That is my dream. Why not? So you are doing employee, say forecasting. Why can't we use evaluation, department evaluation? Why can't we use case method? But nobody talks of that. So my dream is, that is my second vision, that I want to connect case method with workplaces. And I can see the sprouts of new thinking, and those are compact cases. You understand compact cases? Students? I am excluding, I'm not looking at these people. So I'm looking beyond. So compact cases could be one hook where the practitioners can understand and write and imbibe the beauty of compact cases and gradually use them to make decisions in the workplace. That is my dream. I don't know what will happen. So these two are the things which I am right now engrossed with. It is very exciting for me, and that is how. Now coming to the journal, I have shared that we are completely now on qualitative case study research. If you pick up any issue, we come out with 3 issues per year. From 1921 onward, you pick up any issue, read any case, you will definitely find some kind of contribution, theoretical contribution, in terms of either extending an existing theory or building at least showing the theorizing process of a new theory. This is what we have achieved. And that is why I think the downloads have increased. But finding such cases is difficult. So our approach for review is not review and reject. Our philosophy is review and improve, always. Because for us, getting a case which more or less fits in our kind of qualitative case study research format is very rare. I said that we reject 88% to 86% of cases. Hardly 12 to 14% are accepted. So we really jump on it when we see a case which is more or less near the qualitative case study research structure, and help the faculty, help the writer, help the author to really improve. And for that we go, we conduct Zoom interviews, first few rounds in written. When that also doesn't work, then in many cases for Delhi authors who are residing in Delhi, they have been called in our office, and we spent 2-3 days to revise their manuscript, to help them revise their manuscript. To that extent we go, because it is a rare opportunity for us, and we need only 7 cases. Even getting 7 cases, good cases, after review seems to be challenging. So this is all about the case, about the purpose of this journal, about what we have found so far. Any question? Then I will spend few minutes in understanding what is a teaching case. Many of us, we forget what is a teaching case. Let me ask one. Is protagonist a must in a teaching case? Yes or no? How many people say yes, that every teaching case must have a protagonist? Please raise your hands. Only one. So how many students say that protagonist is not required? So that means a majority, we are undecided. We don't know. The answer is, I also found out after a lot of introspection, nowhere it is written. The answer is, I hope it is correct answer, that the cases, the type of cases that we want to take into management classes are those which will focus on decision making, problem identification, problem solving, creativity, those kind of skill set. And because we are asking the student, who is a learner, to solve it, it is better to have a protagonist, so that students in a smaller group, when they discuss, they can identify themselves to be in the shoes of the decision maker and take that decision. That is the purpose of having a protagonist in a management-oriented teaching cases. Okay. Not every case require protagonist. All research cases, qualitative case study research, they are cases. They don't require protagonist, because you are delving into a phenomenon. Okay. Similar things have to be understood. What are actually alternatives? Or what is theory linkage? Is theory must? For every teaching case, should there be theory? Yes or no? Not necessary. Huh? Is there? We have to keep fixated to the purpose of taking a teaching case in a management class. We are not talking of any other class, management students. If it is not linked with theory, then why are we taking it in a class? What benefit will I get? Unless it is linked with theory. This realization came to me when I went to SEEBS, Shanghai, and I asked Belamuri, he is now Dean of Mahindra or something. He is leaving. So I asked him that how many cases do you use in your, he used to teach entrepreneurship, still is. So he asked me that, guess how many cases. I said sheepishly, six or seven, because we don't find time. Well, then no, look, I take entrepreneurship class. This is the book which I follow. There are 9 chapters. All 9 chapters are covered, one after the other. And every case or every chapter, every day starts with a case. Okay. Why case? It is not the full theory. Case, you should not try to cover full theory with a case, because that is again not the purpose. For understanding theory, you have research papers, you have textbook, you have so many supporting books and all that. So, otherwise, how will you slot a case in a course? How will you say that this case I need to take in entrepreneurship course? For entrepreneurship course, there is no case. For different sections of entrepreneurship, different chapters of entrepreneurship, you can write cases. So unless it is linked with theory, how the case will be positioned in a course? So that is a must. Without that, you cannot go. Of course, there are cases, there are narratives. They are not cases actually. They are narratives without dilemma, without theory, without good stories. Good stories, they may have moral learning, but they may not enrich you with mythology, they may not enrich you with theory, and so on and so forth. So these kind of understandings are missing, and our whole purpose is to uncover these kind of understanding about case method. Of late, in our journal, we have also opened accepting bibliometric studies. Now, why bibliometric studies? Why are we shifting from our stated focus of case journal? Because bibliometric study is also some kind of bounded. Because we are facing a problem in getting good quality cases, QCSR cases, in adequate number. So we have to apply some strategy. That strategy may change. So one strategy we applied in 2021 after this change, after bringing out 1 or 2 issues, that invite guest editors. And not everybody can guest edit our journal issue. So we have, through our past experiences. We know some of the cluster of researchers, particularly in Finland, Norway, quite a few universities in Europe, who are expert in writing qualitative case study research. So out of 3 issues per year, we target 1 issue for case editing. It takes about 1 year to prime up and to call for cases and get them reviewed and all that. So 1 year, every year we try, we will be very happy to get 1 issue guest edited. So responsibility of sourcing cases, reviewing them, improving them, lies with the guest editing team, lies with those reviewers. It doesn't burden us. That is the purpose. Having done that, then we said that why not bibliometric study? But I am allergic to ordinary kind of bibliometric study, which simply summarizes what has been done in the past, and it stops there. So it is a kind of literature review. Why should I publish a literature review only in my case journal? So we said that no, this format will not sync with us. We want a contribution. We want a contribution from that bibliometric study. So how do you bring out contribution in a bibliometric study? There are multiple ways which we have found with lot of discussion, lot of hand-holding, and those are, first of all, you establish why are you writing this bibliometric study, bibliometric review? Because there are hardly any phenomena which has not been studied in depth before you thought of delving into it. To justify what kind of new knowledge will you add with your bibliometric study, which was not done by previous researchers. So a review of review studies, a table of reviews must be added. And it should be clearly highlighted what is new that you are bringing on the table. That is one. Second, there are multiple tables coming out from bibliometric. For every table, you have to add value through your, not analysis already software has done. By synthesizing that analysis, by developing insight into that synthesized information and add value to that. For example, the first table perhaps is prolific articles, 10 prolific articles in that field. Simply reporting prolific articles is the job of the bibliometric software. So where is your contribution as a researcher? You must contribute. So how do you contribute? You go through those 10 articles and say what were the findings and why people have cited them most. That bibliometric software will not give you. Similarly for authors, highly prolific authors, why those authors are cited, what did they say which has clicked with the community, that is why their articles are cited. Explore that and put it in. So like this, you can add value to almost every table that comes out. And we are not interested in every table to be incorporated in your article, because then it will become, say, 12,000 or 15,000 words article, which we can't afford. So cut down many tables which are not adding value. For example, say place or say university, highly prolific, highly researched. What will I get out of that by reading that? Or what will another researcher get to know by knowing where all this has been done? Which university is? That is of less use. Even region, if the phenomena is region specific, you should say that these are the regions from where, like say student mobility. For that, regional chart, regional this thing is meaningful. But for employee engagement, those kind of things. So there are many ways of doing it. So this is what the insight I wanted to share with this audience. I think it will add value. If you constantly look at, purposely look at not only bibliometric, any article, any research that you do, that what is your contribution? And contribution doesn't come only from analysis. Analysis, every software can do. After analysis, you have to synthesize. And after synthesize, with your understanding, with your, say, you have done a good literature review. So your knowledge should be very, very contemporary, very, very recent. So with that understanding, what insight can you bring up so that other researcher can benefit? Am I making sense? Any questions so far? Good. Good. So any questions so far? Now I will round it up by saying that what next? What is the next level of case method? Because if we are delivering, if we are debating on this topic, we should also know where to go from now. Next level of case method, can you guess that having traveled 100 years, in which directions cases should evolve? Teaching cases or say research cases should evolve. What are the changes which will demand newer cases? Any idea? That is format.
For that, in the sense that the students are not really having time to really go through long cases of Harvard or Ivy League of cases.
Very right.
Some compact cases, let's say dilemma.
Let us come to the primary thing. Cases are written for content and skill set. Agree? So let us debate. This is a very structured thinking I want to share with the students. The fourth industrial revolution and whatever has happened in last few years, what did they do? They added the need for content, digitalized content. There are many things. So you have to identify, if you want to write today a teaching case or a research case, you must identify which are the new contents have crept in management education. Write on that. So you will find takers. If you write the age-old constructs, nobody will publish. So look for newer content and look for newer skill sets. Some of the skill sets are evergreen, like the 1, 4, 5 that we have discussed. They are always there, they will be always there. But they have been supplemented with many other things, skill set. For example, media skill, ICT and media skill. Like COVID has taught us life course management skills. How do I manage my life? Okay. There are many areas, look for these, they are documented. Or at least if you have done good literature review, not in case domain, do it in that newer skill set and newer content, that domain, do a literature review and see where there is a white space. So I think I can go on like this. I don't want to waste your time. Any question if you have, I can gladly take it up. 1 or 2 questions, and then we can close it. Any question?
Apart from the compact case, the case having a feature of a simulation. A compact case having a feature of simulation could be another, let's say, new direction in the case method, or you can write a teaching case with that particular, let's say, orientation. And that's going to really facilitate the students' learning. Not only that, can you really...
If you are talking of simulation, then why are you calling it a case?
No, sir. The case is providing the facilities to do the simulation. I'll give some sort of example in that. Suppose I'm going to really teach a case called portfolio optimization. I'll give a context to that. I'll give a brief case, and I'll give a data set which can be really simulated, and I can come up with the many alternatives. That can be debated and
That is an
discussed.
overlap, yes.
That's what I'm saying. That could be a new direction. So that students are not only interested to really deal with the cases, along with that, they are going to really apply some sort of a new technology, and which is definitely going to appeal them.
But there are other formats. There are at least 9 or 10 formats of cases. Video case. Video case is very, very effective
Video
in
cases,
class, if you can manage the class very well. Okay. So like this, look for those things. But video cases problem is the publication. Not many people accept your video cases for publication. And in any case, teaching cases will not get you the credit for a research output. That is the problem. Any other?
Sorry, in your last talk, you have mentioned about 88% case studies. 88% case studies you have mentioned in last talk that it is rejected for publication purposes. Say
Which cases studies I couldn't find?
88% cases you have mentioned that it is rejected. Say 7 into 3, said about 21 cases only in a year you publish. Suppose there are good number of cases and you find that it is more than 50% good cases, but you want to publish only 21. In that case, what you will do?
I have ready-made answer with last time when we faced this problem with teaching case, he helped me from SAGE. That time he was managing director of SAGE. And he said, why not? You increase one more issue. That time we were coming out with 2 issues per year. He helped me to make it 3 issues. So if the supply is good, then number of issues will help you. Or in each issue, you increase number of pages. Negotiate with the publisher and increase the number of pages. Right now, we have a certain limit of number of pages over 3 issues, spread over 3 issues. So increase that or increase number of. But the problem is not, the 88% rejection is not only due to wrong format of the case. It is because the submitters, they do not read the scope of the journal. Many people, in our case, it is written very clearly that we do not accept teaching cases. Still, at least we get about, every month, I think we get about 10 to 20 teaching cases, purely teaching cases. Why are you submitting here? Can't you read English? So those problems are there. Now, how do you take such a community who are not able to even match with the scope of the journal, which is very clearly stated? It is not that we might or we do not accept teaching cases. Still you are submitting. So that is a larger chunk. Because people think that they have written something and according to them it is very good. It is research quality, high quality, and they will publish. They don't take the other's viewpoint. Anyone else? Otherwise, we close. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So moving on to the next level of those new content and with new mindset. Thank you, sir, for your wonderful insights on publish and how to teach a
good case overall. So with this, I would like to thank you, Professor Dey, for his commendable insights on case teaching and how to go about the next level of case method. So
can we have a moment?
So after this, we would have the next session starting soon. Thank you all. It's on entrepreneurship and startup.
Who will take care of that?
Yeah, sir.